Hello students, so I am back for the explanation of a next kind of a reaction, that is oxidation, reduction, reaction. But before I explain you this type of a reaction, I would like you to understand two words very carefully. One of them is oxidation and the other is reduction. Now if I say that a substance is undergoing oxidation, please mark it carefully in your books that oxidation is a situation where a substance is gaining oxygen, or it may also be considered as a kind of a situation where a substance is losing hydrogen. On the other hand side, if I talk about reduction, reduction is a kind of a situation where a substance is either gaining hydrogen and losing oxygen. Let's understand this situation in a better way through a kind of an equation. If I say that I am heating a reddish brown copper in the presence of oxygen, if I am heating this in a test tube, then copper gets converted into your copper to oxide. And this is your black in color. Now over here, if you look carefully, the copper which is one of the reactants in this situation has gained a oxygen. That means it has undergone oxidation. Now if I continue this equation, if I keep heating this black substance as well, then what will I get? And this heating should be done in the presence of a hydrogen stream. Then what will I get? I will get copper, I will regain the copper, and the water vapor will also be formed in this situation. Now over here again, please look very carefully that the copper oxide, which is one of the reactant over here, it has lost its oxygen. See, you can see the CuO has converted to copper. That means it has lost its oxygen, and losing oxygen is referred to as a reduction. Now, let's look into the other substance, that is your hydrogen. Only the reactant should be looked towards when you are finding out that what among the following is getting oxidized and reduced. Now hydrogen over here has gained the oxygen and converted into water. See, the oxygen has been gained. That means it has undergone oxidation. I don't know whether you have noticed the situation that whenever I am looking for a substance which is getting oxidized or reduced, I am always looking towards my reactants. So whenever a question in your board examinations is being asked that what among the following is getting oxidized, please look towards the reactants which are participating in that reaction. Now, if you look at the equation carefully, the copper oxide is losing its oxygen and converting into copper. That means it is getting reduced. The other reactant, that is H2, is gaining this oxygen and getting converted to water. That is, it is getting oxidized. Now, oxygen being lost from this position is being gained by the other substance. That is, the reduction and oxidation reaction are occurring simultaneously. If you want to understand the same kind of a scenario in terms of the hydrogen exchange, let's study that kind of example as well. Now, in this case, the H2S is getting converted to sulfur. Now, this sulfur has been formed only once the hydrogen from this position has been lost. Okay, so that means H2S is undergoing your oxidation. Now, where has this H being lost from this position has gone? So it has been accepted by the oxygen. If you look closely over here, the oxygen has accepted the hydrogen being lost from one position. That means this has undergone a kind of a reduction. See over here as well, the oxidation and reduction are running simultaneously. So those equations in which your reduction reaction and the oxidation reactions are running simultaneously, are going simultaneously hand to hand to each other, those kind of reactions will be referred to as the redox reactions. Let's check your understanding that whether you have understood the concept that which among the given reactants is undergoing oxidation and reduction. So take a pause after looking at this equation. Okay, so by now you must have understood that the substances which are losing oxygen are referred to as undergoing reduction. So ZnO over here is undergoing reduction. Now the substances which are gaining oxygen are referred to be undergoing your oxidation. That means over here carbon is undergoing oxidation. Now we also need to understand at this point of time that there are some kind of oxidizing and reducing agents as well. Now what are these? See, actually, in simple terms, oxidizing agents are those agents which are undergoing your reduction. Now, if I explain you in detail, now oxidizing agents are very similar. That means they are the ones which are giving the oxygen. They give the oxygen, or they may also be the ones which are gaining hydrogen. Isn't it? See, giving oxygen or gaining hydrogen. That means the substances in an equation which are undergoing reduction are the oxidizing agents as well. Similarly, if it comes in a question to identify the reducing agents, then reducing agents are those substances which are undergoing oxidation. They are the ones which are giving hydrogen now. These are the ones which gives hydrogen or are the ones which gains oxygen. See, over here also I have written the ones which gives hydrogen and gains oxygen. So a very simple trick for the identification of the oxidizing agent or the reducing agent is that substance which is undergoing reduction is going to be your oxidizing agent, and the substance which is going oxidation is going to be your reducing agent. Now for practicing, let's do some more kind of examples and check your understanding at this level. So suppose I have an example where Fe2O3 is reacting with your aluminium to give rise to your iron and Al2O3. Take a pause at this point of time and identify that which among them is getting oxidized, which among them is getting reduced, which is the oxidizing agent in this case, and which is the reducing agent. Okay, so we'll start again. So if I look at this equation, I can very clearly understand now that Fe2O3 while converting to Fe is losing its oxygen, and loss of oxygen is referred to as the process of reduction, and the substance which is undergoing reduction is actually my oxidizing agent as well. On the other hand, if I look carefully, the aluminium is gaining oxygen, and the gain of oxygen is referred to as being undergoing oxidation, and the substance which is undergoing oxidation is my reducing agent. So I hope your answers are right. Let's look into one more equation and wind it up. Now the second equation which I like to show it to you is H2S plus SO2 when heated gives rise to your sulfur and H2O. Take a pause please and identify all the four things as similar in the previous equation, that is the one which is going oxidation, the ones which are undergoing reduction, the oxidizing agent in the equation and the reducing agent in the equation. Please make sure that every time that this question is being asked, you are supposed to look into only the reactant side. So look at the H2S. H2S is losing hydrogen. That means it is the one which is undergoing oxidation. And the substance which is undergoing oxidation, what kind of agent it is? It is a reducing agent. Now let's look into the next reactant, that is SO2. Only the reactants will be the answers to all these four questions. Now the SO2 over here is what it is doing? It is losing your, or I should say in terms of hydrogen, it is, so I hope now you are done with the oxidation reduction or the redox reactions as well. Join for previous year board questions in tomorrow's video. Till then, if you have understood the concepts and all the reactions nicely, please subscribe the channel, share the channel, and that will keep me going. Till then, keep smiling and keep studying. Thank you.